let's get a move on. How long did it took for you to master extreme vocals? And what does it take? I'm a singer myself with quite a range, but I still can't figure out how people are screaming and growling that good. You know, it's kind of weird, because before I knew how to growl myself, I couldn't even grasp how other people were doing it, you know. And every attempt I made was like, ah, you know, using your throat like that. It sounded like shit. But after quite a bit of practice, watching tutorials and having people tell me to push air from my diaphragm, one day I just managed to scream and it sounded right. It's kind of weird because it's like a muscle memory you always had, but you just forgotten how to use it. And after that I just kept recording myself and trying new stuff, and eventually I got to where I am. And how do you manage to play games, watch Game of Thrones, and be a husband and a father? The main reason why I get to do all this is because at home I have the most caring, loving, and supportive girlfriend you can imagine. She always cheers me on, and without her I wouldn't be sitting here. Curious about how you got into music. I mentioned earlier that I was making trance and dance music back in the early 2000s. And I used a program called Fast Tracker. It's an old DOS program. And the reason I got into it was because one day me and an old school buddy of mine were walking across the bridge in my town, and he was talking, yeah, do you make music? And I said, yeah, I'm making Dance EJ. You know, this program where you just snap parts on, you don't do anything. And he's like, you should come over and we should check out Fast Tracker. And okay. And I joined him, and after that, I was like, all I did was make music. It started out really bad though. I have a CD somewhere with the first song ever, but I think it's lost, and I think that might be for the best. What, in your opinion, makes it so fun to do what you do? I think that the best way I can put it is, do you remember when you were a kid and you watched a movie or played a game, and as soon as it was done, you ran out and got a stick to represent a sword or a gun or whatever, and you ran around playing that movie or game and reenacting stuff? It's kind of like that, just that I make music. That's the best way I can explain it, because, you know, when I watch something, I get so drawn into it, and I kind of need to let go of all the steam I have built up from the story or gameplay or whatever. You know, if that makes sense. I'm sorry if it didn't. I literally listen to your Reigns of Castamere cover every day. Did you learn to sing by yourself? If so, do you have any tips for a beginner? I think that the best tip I can give you is just sing something you want to sing. Find a song you like and then try to imitate that singer. Because after a while your brain will start to pick up on, okay, this is how you do it, you know? That's how it was with me, and it has helped me a lot. So when I want to try to learn something new, I try to imitate something new. The other tip I have is record yourself. I know it's probably, if you haven't recorded yourself, you're gonna cringe like hell listening to yourself, but trust me, it will help you a lot. Because many people think they can sing, and when they record themselves, it sounds absolutely ass. So the best thing to do is sing and kind of analyze what you've done so you can improve. Also, a quick tip, learn how to scream, because screaming is just like when you sing from your stomach, just 110%. So if you learn that technique that way, it's going to be easier to sing afterwards. That's how it was for me. What are some of your favorite bands? Do you do or do you plan to do original music? As for original songs, not at the moment. I'm going to focus on making cool covers for a while, because I have so much fun doing it, and I think that's the most important part. But if people keep asking for original songs, maybe one time in the future. You never know. Did you ever get any vocal training? Your range is very impressive, and I'm trying to sing better in a lower voice, but it just doesn't resonate. So I have to go with a higher pitch to sound good. Up until this point, I haven't had any vocal training. I am taking few lessons now, though. As for the lower notes, the hard thing about it is that you want to have a lot of energy behind the notes, but you end up pushing the pitch up because you push too hard, right? So the best advice I can give you is just try to relax more when you are singing low, and don't get too excited about the music. I know that sounds weird, but this way you don't push too much on the notes, so you destroy the pitch, if that makes any sense to you. Greetings from Italy, and congrats on the 10k milestone. Thanks, man. What's the most challenging thing for you when you're producing a song? Like tracking leads, learning the parts, arranging them in a way that's unique, etc. Onwards to 100k. that would be arranging the song and making the riffs and drum beats, like basically making the cover. Everything after is pretty easy, but making the cover itself and doing it justice, rearranging parts and stuff like that, making it all fit. I can spend so many hours on very few seconds of music because I don't want to compromise, like I said before. Your top 5 death metal bands of all time. Ooh, I've been waiting for this one. I think I would have to say Origin, Decapitated, Blood Red Throne, of course Cannibal Corpse, and Arcspire. And if you haven't heard Arcspire, if you haven't heard Arcspire before, you should definitely go check them out. They're bloody amazing. Do you like La France? I like La France. I don't think I pronounced that correctly. Why did you start this channel? And why metal specifically? Why metal? That should be obvious. Actually, the reason I started this channel was because I wanted something to promote my mixing, mastering stuff. And I thought that, making a cover is fun, so I'll just do that and try to make a cool mix. But after the Dragon Age Rise cover, I just realized, this is fun. I'll keep doing this. What is your favorite character in Game of Thrones? Mine is Tyrion and Barristan the Bold. As for a favorite Game of Thrones character, it has to be Tyrion. It has to be Tyrion. It has to be Tyrion. Tyrion. What do you use for all your tones and your drums? The drums I answered earlier, it's Steven Slate drums. As for guitar and bass, I use Bias FX on the guitars, and I use the Waves GTR on the bass most of the time. As someone who wants to get more into the different areas of metal music, what bands would you recommend to get started? Well, I don't know what you have listened to before, so it's kind of a tough question, but maybe a band like Periphery is cool to check out. They have a lot of varied elements in their songs, everything from heavy to really calm. Check them out. I'm curious about your creative process. How many times do you listen to the original song? What are the first steps in creating a cover, etc.? Cheers. I'll listen to the original song maybe 3-4 times. I don't know, it really varies though. But usually all my ideas comes from the first and second playthrough of the song. And after that I just head to the studio, slap the song into Cubase, figure out the tempo, if I need to increase it or slow it down, and figure out the chords, if I need to tune the song differently to fit my voice and or the guitar. And after that I'll just start building. So that's the short of it at least. What is your favorite Elder Scrolls game? And also, do you prefer Skyrim or Dragon Age? My favorite Elder Scrolls game would have to be Skyrim. I played Oblivion when it was out and really enjoyed it. I was totally drawn into the Dark Brotherhood questline there. But I didn't play Morrowind. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. And about Dragon Age and Skyrim, I think that Dragon Age and Skyrim are two very different games. They're both fantasy sort of magic type of game, but their experience is so vastly different. So I think I would have to say that I like Dragon Age more, based on Dragon Age Origins, that is. Are you planning on doing some anime stuff, like Attack on Titan? I can imagine it would sound really amazing. I haven't really watched anime since I was a kid, but I have come across a lot of clips from the newer ones, and thanks to channels like Game Theory and stuff. And the music is still kick-ass, so yeah, maybe, who knows? Keep the suggestions coming. I came upon your channel by chance. Fiancé found your cover of Weight of the World, and we both loved it. Are you ever gonna do a meet and greet in the US? Hey, thank your fiancé for me. I would love to go and have a meet and greet in the US. I don't know when that will be, but sometime in the future maybe I'll get to go to some convention or something like that. It would be really fun, and I really want to get out there and meet you guys, so yeah. You do mostly game covers, so I'm curious what your favorite games are. Not the top one, that's usually a hard choice, but the really standout ones. Okay, top games. Witcher 3 is there. Final Fantasy 7 most definitely. Skyrim. And the Batman Arkham games are really, really awesome. And I can't not mention World of Warcraft, I play that game so much, and it had such a big impact on me, so yeah. There you have it. What are you currently playing, or do you even have time with music and family? Yeah, the time is kind of tight at the moment, but I am playing World of Warcraft a lot again. But before that, I was playing a lot of Evil Within, the first one. Kind of an unrated game, if you ask me. Really bad voice acting and cringy stuff, but the gameplay and the graphic design and the monsters is top notch. Who is your biggest influence musically? Well, finally an easy question. That would be Nobuo Uematsu, the guy who made all the music for Final Fantasy 1 through 10. I mean, his music changed my life. It sounds cheesy when I say it, but if it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't be making music at all. I wouldn't be sitting here. I can still listen to his tracks and just float away. Are you working on a PC or a Mac? What software do you use to mix your songs? What software is used for video editing? And about gaming, console user or PC master race? Many greetings from Austria to Norway. Well, greetings to Austria. I use a PC. I've been using it since the very beginning. And I mix on Cubase 9.5. I use a wide assortment of plugins. For video editing, I use Adobe Premiere. And for gaming, I stick to the PC as much as I can. I do own a PS4 though for the console exclusives, which are really great games. So, and I also have a PS3 and an Xbox 360. The first part of the question is already answered, but also with regards to Hymn of the Firstborn Son, do you currently play WoW? If so, do you run Horde or Alliance? Back in 05, all my friends were playing Alliance, and I really liked the Dwarf race and the Night Elf race and stuff. So that's where I ended up, and I don't have the heart to change main, but I do play Horde from time to time though. What camera do you use? My cameraman is using Nikon D600, I think. I might be wrong, but I'll add the text here in case I am. So thank you all so much, guys, for watching. I was really humbled by the amount of questions I got, and it was so much fun reading through them and answering them here. I really love communicating with you in this way, so I'm really sorry this video was delayed, but stuff happens. So yeah, Merry Christmas to you all, and I will see you soon. Bye.